You know, if you were watching TV or going to the movies back in the 80s, there's a really good chance you know this face, even if the name doesn't ring a bell right away. From a classic sitcom to one of the biggest blockbusters of the decade, Jennifer Runyon was there. Today, we're taking a look back at her life and her career.
We're starting today with some really sad news. Actress Jennifer Runyon passed away on Friday, March 6, 2026. Her close friend, actress Erin Murphy, was the one who shared the news, noting that her passing came after a brief battle with cancer.
And she was just 65 years old. She leaves behind this incredible legacy, both on the screen and, as we'll see, off it too. So like I said, even if the name doesn't immediately click for you, I guarantee you know her work from this time. I mean, come on, who could forget her as one of Bill Murray's psychic test subjects in Ghostbusters? Or as Scott Baio's girlfriend on Charles in Charge. She even stepped in to play Cindy Brady in A Very Brady Christmas, and had memorable spots on huge shows like Quantum Leap and Beverly Hills 90210. So, to really get the full picture of her career, let's go all the way back to the beginning. Because for Jennifer, the path to Hollywood was, well, it was practically in her DNA. Her family was already very familiar with the spotlight. So yeah, Jennifer was born in Chicago back in 1960, and when I say performing was in her blood, I kind of mean it literally. Her dad was the famous radio DJ Jim Runyon, and her mom, Jane Roberts, was an actress herself, so it was a pretty natural path for her to follow. And she really hit the ground running. Her big screen debut was actually in a 1980 slasher flick called To All a Good Night, and from there, she just started racking up TV credits left and right, with a recurring role on the soap opera Another World and guest spots on popular shows like The Fall Guy. Okay, so all these early roles were basically setting the stage for the mid-80s, and that's really when Jennifer Runyon became that face you saw everywhere, a true fixture of the decade. I mean, it's amazing just how much she packed into such a short time. 1984, that year alone was absolutely huge for her. She landed that key role of Gwendolyn Pierce on Charles in Charge and had that unforgettable scene in Ghostbusters. Then, just 4 years later, she's stepping into the shoes of an adult Cindy Brady and showing up in the pilot for another iconic series, Quantum Leap. Just incredible.
And that role on Charles in Charge, it was a really big deal for her. She talked about it in an interview back in 2014, saying that even though she was hired to play Scott Baio's girlfriend, their relationship off-screen was much more like siblings.
But then, as the 80s were winding down, Jennifer's priorities really started to change. She made this very deliberate choice to step away from the spotlight and put her focus on building a family. And this was a huge, huge pivot in her life. In 1991, she got married to basketball coach Todd Carmen, and they had 2 kids, Wyatt and Bailey. She basically traded that whole Hollywood actress lifestyle for a much more private one, moving the family completely out of California so she could really focus on raising her kids.
And you don't have to take my word for it. She made it crystal clear in her own words during a 2016 interview. She said, "I left the business to raise my kids, and we left Hollywood and we moved to Idaho and Oregon. It was a choice she made 100% for her family."
And that really brings us to the heart of her story, because her impact wasn't just about the roles she played, it was about the incredible, deep connections she made with people. And that becomes so clear when you see the outpouring of love from those who knew her best. Take her friend Erin Murphy, for example, the one who first shared the news of her passing. She posted this really heartfelt message calling Jennifer a special lady and capturing that feeling of an instant deep connection you have with some friends.
Her co-star from Charles in Charge, Scott Baio, he also shared his memories of her, not just as an actress, but as a person, calling her a sweet, kind, and generous actress, and, just as importantly, a wonderful mother and wife.
And then there's this incredibly moving tribute from another one of her Charles in Charge co-stars, Willie Aames. He called her his rock. He wrote about sharing holidays and vacations, about how much they laughed together. It just shows their bond went so much deeper than just being colleagues.
And this one really hits you. It's from her daughter, Bailey, who's also an actress. She wrote, "All of the best parts of me came from you. I would give anything for one more day together." Just a beautiful, powerful testament to their bond.
So it leaves us with this thought, right? How do you really measure a life that was so well lived? Is it about the characters we all remember on screen, or is it about the deep, loving impact you leave on your family and friends? I think for Jennifer Runyon, it's pretty clear, and pretty beautiful, that it was both.